Hello and welcome to episode 23 of Let's Play Planet Coaster here on Theme Park Worldwide. Good to see you're all enjoying the series so far. Like I say, I have been struggling for time to play Planet Coaster over the summer season. There's just been so much going on in terms of new vlogs on the channel and lots of other exciting content that I've not had as much time to play this game. As I'm sure a lot of you are aware who play Planet Coaster and of course have watched this series so far, you'll know just how time consuming it really is to build things in this game. I love it to bits, and as soon as winter season comes round, I'll be back round to playing even more of this absolutely awesome theme park simulation game. I also look forward to seeing what updates we get. Hopefully we'll see some Halloween upgrades made to the game. I really hope we do. I mean, you look at the Christmas stuff what we had last year, all the Christmas trees and presents and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully we'll get something like that for Halloween, because I'd especially love to add some Halloween here into Volcano Springs. So yes, episode 23, you can see already I'm making a start there on the theming, which will all be indoors in this big show building home to the spinning coaster. Now, I did build this spinning coaster with Jack in the last episode a couple of weeks back, and to be honest, yeah, I was quite pleased with it when it was done. I mean, it took a while to get some of the elements right, especially like the overbank, the horseshoe element, but yeah, I think it looks quite good now, and what I'm trying to do here is make it feel like, as part of this ride storyline, you're blasting off to another planet, and that's the whole idea with this one, and that's why you've got all this rocky terrain which is inside. Now, of course, when you're building a dark ride or something indoors inside this game, it makes it a lot easier if you don't actually put the roof on until you've got all your main stuff what you want to have done on the inside. So that's what I'm doing just here. I mean, you don't have to do that. You can still get into the buildings, of course you can, because it's Planet Coaster. We're not back in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 now, where you didn't have to do the insides or you couldn't see inside. With this, what I decided to do was do all the theming on the inside, or at least I'd say 70% of it I do in this episode, with another 30% of theming to be added later on at another date. But what I do then here is I start to add in different platforms, different layers for themed items which are going to be going inside this building. In a few minutes time you'll see that I start to actually put the walls on, and then later on in the episode I actually put a roof in. So yeah, in terms of the layout, it's good to see that a lot of you actually liked the coaster. I mean, I didn't think that it'd go down quite as well, this one. I mean, in terms of the layout, by all means, it's not the best spinning coaster out there at all. It was the first one that I've ever built, and like I said, I've not really built many coasters inside this game. For me, it's more about the theming and enhancing it and doing that overall experience. But I'd like to think that over time, I am getting a little bit better at building these roller coasters, and I do look forward to building another park at some point once this one's complete and carrying on this series. I know a lot of people are loving Planet Coaster, and I don't have any plans to stop this. I intend on rolling it on and maybe having a short little break between this park and the next one, but I've already got ideas for another theme park that I'd like to do in Planet Coaster, and it's great to see that all of you keep commenting with your suggestions for the park. With this park here then, obviously in terms of what's left, we've got the rest of this sci-fi area. By the end of the next episode, by episode 24, I'd like to think that we'll nearly be coming to the end of theming this sci-fi area, apart from a few little touches to be made. What you can see going on here then now is I'm just putting in the building for the lift hill. That is the maximum height there for this building. You might think, oh my god, it's going to be a big, horrible, ugly show building, but what I'll do in the next episode is theme all the outside, along with building a new attraction just there alongside it. What I'm actually looking at putting in is a go-karts attraction, maybe two of them, because I just think it'll work really well inside this futuristic sci-fi themed area. And like I say, you've got where the double launch coaster is down the other end of this area, which is all quite destructive and like something's all gone wrong. And of course I released a name for that in the last episode, which I loved all the theme ideas for that one. I'm still looking for ideas for this one just here, and this isn't going to be destruction, it is finished off, and I want it to be some sort of journey what takes you through to another planet. So yeah, stay tuned, and maybe seeing this in this episode now, or theming going in a few minutes time, you'll get an idea for some themes and names for this ride. So comment below, and in episode 24 in the next couple of weeks I'll reveal the name and theme for this ride. So keep watching, and of course I'll always look down in the comments down below to see what you guys want to name the attractions inside Volcano Springs. Anyway, I'm going to leave you a little bit of theme park music for a couple of minutes, and then I'll explain to you a little bit more about the theme and what's going on inside the building for the spinning coaster. Now, with this being an indoor roller coaster, a big emphasis will be on lighting and special effects inside the show building. So what you can see me doing here is firstly adding some lighting all the way around that's lighting up the track and of course the rocks around it. There's some really good near-miss elements on this ride, and like I said at the start of the video, I want you guys to come up with the story, the backstory to this ride and the name for it as well for the next episode, so make sure you do keep commenting down below. With this, it's some sort of journey, what's going wrong, that's what I'm feeling with this. What planet are we going to though? I'm not too sure. I mean, we've got all blue there on the rocks, and then where there's yellow and where there's red, it's obviously where a warning, where something's going wrong, something's happening. As you can see here, I installed some flame machines and then actually sync that up to the track, so it means that when the train passes by, you get these flame machines going off just next door. So you'll see in a second that I get the ride testing and sync that up to make sure that they're going off just when the train goes past. As this park could be spending a lot of money on fire effects going off constantly. I say that, look at Valhalla at Blackpool Pleasure Beach and the amount of fire there is in there, especially with it normally running 8 boats on Valhalla. You've got boats coming out, every 30, 40 seconds, which is crazy. I dread to think the bill of how much that costs. There was a lot of rumours though with Pleasure Beach that the actual cost of the ponchos and the queue line and the profit that they made on them was enough to pay for the running costs of Valhalla throughout the day. God knows if that's actually true, but it was definitely something that I've heard mentioned quite a few times, and to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, what are ponchos these days? What, £1.80, something like that? And pretty much everyone buys a poncho at Valhalla at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and so it wouldn't surprise me there if it does cover the cost of running the effects. You can see me just there using the triggers just to make sure that it activates when it goes past, and putting a little delay on them there, so it goes past only at that point when the coaster passes there on the track. So yes, you can see here that I've been very clever with the light, and in fact I've put some blue lights in there. I have a little mess about here with other effects that we can use and think actually maybe not like the electricity effects, but I do add a lot of smoke in here, and that's mainly to help cover up the show building, because especially when the roof's on, I just want to make sure that it's not too visible when all of this is complete. But yeah, it's really starting to come together now, and you can get a feel for what I'm doing here. What I've done here then is set some more flashing lights up over at the side. When I'm doing this sort of thing, I like to put all the lights over at the side on the grass and then move them into place afterwards. You can see it's a bit of a lighting spectacular inside this ride, and towards the brake run there at the end it's all blue, nothing flashing, and that's because things have returned to normal. What I'm imagining is with this story there's some sort of panic going on, maybe we're travelling there and something's gone wrong with the control system. I don't know, you guys are so much better than me at coming up with themes and names and backstories to these rides, so I'm going to leave you to it, and I look forward to hearing your comments on what you think about this one. Now obviously once all the walls are on and the roof's complete, it is going to be quite dark inside this attraction. However, you are still going to get glimpses at the roof and also the walls. So I'm just going to add some rocks that you can see just there, and I'll put some more in a moment, all the way around the walls, just so if you do get a glance of that, it is themed and you're not just looking at a blank wall. Obviously you're going to be spinning round. It is of course a spinning coaster. You're going to be spinning round, you're going to be very disorientated anyway. So to be honest, you're not really going to be looking at those walls, but I just want to make sure there's at least a little bit of theming there in place, just so you can see that. What I'm doing here then is building the actual warehouse itself, putting the walls and the roof on now. Like I say, I do it in sections. I think it's easier to put the theming in there first and then put all this on afterwards. There will still be enhancements I'm going to make inside. It's by all means not finished, but of course the main basis for the ride's in, and it's rideable. You could open it like it is, but there's still enhancements that I will make to this in future episodes and off camera as well, before completing this park officially. You can see me then just here looking at blocking in the lift hill just there. The reason I do this, there's not really anything going in the lift hill theming wise, it's more just going to be dark and smoke effects. But I just wanted to make sure you couldn't see all the theme lighting and everything going on around the rest of the coaster. I want you to climb up that lift hill, not really know what's going on, turn the corner and go down that drop and think, oh my god, look at all this lighting, look at all this fire, and of course all of the special effects. You can see me there putting even more roof tiles on, which pretty much completes the building just there. Moving on then from that, in a second I actually go outside and start to think more about the area as a whole by putting in the queue line. I also think about a flat ride that would fit in here. I thought about lots of different flat rides that fit with space and lots of ones we've got, and then decided that an enterprise attraction would be the best one to go in. And this is going to be the start of me working on the rest of the area. You'll see it throughout the rest of this episode. I put some buildings in, like a secondary area entrance with a bridge leading over that you can see just up there next to the lake, and just generally prepare ready for that go-karts attraction to go in the next episode. You can see me here just putting the queue line in for the Enterprise, then in a few moments I'll start work on some of the buildings around the area. So over the past 5 minutes or so, you've seen that time-lapse footage of me putting some of the buildings in and the queue lines and some basic scenery around the sci-fi area. You can see with this, it's got a bit of a different feel to that of where the double launch coaster is, mainly because this isn't all about destructive themes. This top end here, it's very much like Tomorrowland at the Disney parks. It's big, bold buildings which is going to have some really nice lighting effects on and a really modern feel to it. But like I say, keep your suggestions coming in for names, both for the Enterprise attraction, how can we make that fit in with the area in terms of a backstory. Everything at this park's got a bit of a backstory, so make sure you think about that one. And of course, the spinning coaster itself, where in the next episode, one of you guys will get your name picked and we'll pick a name out from this ride. So I can't wait to read your suggestions. I always look forward to seeing the suggestions down below. Now I know one thing that will make it much easier for you to help with your name and also your theme suggestions for this ride, and that is of course a POV. So in just over a minute's time, that's where we're going to end this episode by showing you a full POV of the ride. By all means, it's not 100% finished. I'd say about 70%, and there's still more work to be done and little enhancements that I want to do in there. But for my first indoor coaster that I've ever built in the game, I think it looks quite good, to be honest, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts on the ride. You can see me here just putting in even more buildings. This will be for toilet facilities. I know we need quite a few more toilets inside this park, and also for food and beverage opportunities there as well. So I'm just putting all those in for you to see. Thank you very much then for watching another episode of Let's Play Planet Coaster. Like I say, I try and get these out there the best that I can do and as quick as I can do, but obviously I don't want to rush this park either. It's my little baby. I've been working on it now since November last year, and it really is starting to come together. And in the next episode, we'll work on this double go-karts attraction, along with continuing with more building work and finishing off the theming around this sci-fi themed area. Thank you very much for watching, and let's end it now with a POV of our indoor spinning roller coaster. See you in the next episode, guys, and thank you for watching.